Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am the Muted Goat, and this is going to be a Civilization 4 Realism Invictus Let's Play. I've done all the research, and I see there's a huge demand out there for a 40-year-old guy playing a 20-year-old game with a kind of overhaul mod. It's something it looks like I need to strike while the iron is hot. And yeah, I know all of you are just dying to watch this, so let's kind of get into it pretty quickly here. I'm going to be doing a custom game just to show you all the settings. If you're not familiar with this mod, I've been playing it for about 5 years. I think it is a fantastic mod. Civilization 4 is my favorite Civilization game, and this mod just kind of, when I first discovered it, it kind of blew me away how much I liked it. So it was just like getting a whole new game in the format of Civ4, which is my favorite game. So I'm just going to slowly scroll down the map settings over here, and these are all just default. We're going to be playing on a standard map. You can't really play on the bigger maps with this mod because in the later eras there's so many troops and movement on the board, the game literally cannot handle it. It's not even a computer issue, it's something technical with the game itself where it will just eventually force close no matter what. So that is why we're playing on standard. I would love to play a giant map, but cannot do that. So the options I'm playing with are all the default options for the mod. I will kind of try to explain them as I go. Like I said, I've been playing this mod for 5 years, so I've actually kind of forgotten what's different between the mod and the vanilla game. So I will do my best to explain it if I remember, but you might have to bear with me on some of that. The biggest one, biggest option here that is checked no is no revolutions. Separatism is a very interesting mechanic in Realism Invictus, and if I end up doing a couple more of these Let's Plays, I'll definitely do one where revolutions can happen, and I'll explain that. But a quick summary of it: if your civilization gets too big, there's a separatism mechanic which can cause revolutions where it basically plunges you into a civil war, and a bunch of your cities will split off and form their own civilization, and it can happen to the AI civs too. It's pretty interesting, but at the same time it's also kind of a pain in the butt. I can see why it is checked no, so we will have it off. And also another kind of interesting thing with the mod is that barbarians cities can form their own civilizations if you kind of leave them alone, but this is going to be checked no. So on a standard map, 9 teams is the standard amount, so there's going to be 9 civs to start, and there will be no more. All these other things I'll try to talk about as they happen, but let's get right into it. I'm going to play on Prince, and Prince is still quite a challenge in this mod. I usually do okay on Prince, so to give myself a bit more of a challenge, I'm going to have a random leader and a random civilization. All victory conditions are allowed here, and I also want to give kind of a disclaimer. I don't claim to be an expert at this game by any means. I'm probably pretty good just because I've been playing so long, but I definitely don't do a lot of the min-maxing. I'm not scouring the Civ Fanatics forums to get all the greatest strategies available, so I mostly play just for fun, and yeah, hopefully you guys have a little bit of enjoyment watching me play this for fun. So let's just get this game started and see who we get and what our starting location will be. Okay, another disclaimer. I normally play this game in silence by myself, so I read a lot of these names and pronounce them in my head, probably not as they are supposed to be pronounced, so you will have to bear with me for anything I missay. Feel free to correct me in the comments if it's bothering you so much. I will do my best to correct that in the future. But our starting leader is Moshu's Hoi. Moshu's Hoi 1, that's how I'm going to say it first, of the Nguni tribes. He is charismatic, he's a politician, and he's idealistic. So let's see what those traits do. Charismatic, +1 to diplomatic relations, minus 25% XP needed for unit promotions. You get happiness from City Square, Broadcast Tower, Print Shop, Newspaper, and TV Station. And then he's also a politician, so he's +2 to diplomatic relations, plus 50% espionage, and a 50% faster production of the tavern, labor camp, and jail. In this mod, you also have everyone gets 2 positive traits and 1 negative, and our negative is idealistic, which means we get a free promotion of poor morale for archery, melee, and gunpowder units, which isn't the best, but we will deal with it. And let's see, the Nguni Empire gets unique units of the Impi, the Sangoma, and has the unique buildings of the Ikanda and the African Temple, and a unique improvement of the Cattle Trek. So let's continue there. I'm going to click this so I can see what resources are around me, and this starting spot seems okay. Actually, it's not the best. These resources next to us, we got spices, which is an okay early game, but really isn't great. And then we got clams out here. Hopefully we get something a little better that's covered up in Fog of War right now. I am going to go to the Civilpedia real quick and go to the Society so we can see a little bit more of, now let's go back, what our unique stuff for this empire is. So the Cattle Trek gives you +1 food, and this looks like it is instead of like a pasture, you use these cattle treks. And the cool thing about it, you see at the bottom there, you have a small chance of discovering cattle, which means you can basically generate cow resources, which is pretty good. I don't know what the percent chance of it. I know it's low, but I've seen it happen before, which is nice. The unique units, the Impi, and this requires Crucible Steel, so this will be a bit later on, but it looks to be quite good against kind of the first gunpowder units, which as a national unit you only get 6 of them, but being that strong against gunpowder units, they will be a force during the early gunpowder era. And then the Sangoma looks like you'll get a little bit earlier. Requires Ritual and Smokehouse. This is also pretty decent. Let's see. Ritual you can get pretty early. And Strength 6 during the Ritual, like when you get Ritual, is a pretty good strength. It looks to be more of a defensive troop, so not fantastic, but I will definitely be using them. The Ikanda replaces the barracks, and it just gives you +1 food, which is great for instead of just the normal barracks. And then the African Temple, everyone has these pagan temples available to them. The African one gives you +1 food in addition to the +1 culture, which everyone gets. So that is all the unique things for the Nguni Empire. Alright, like I said, I'm not in love with our starting spot, but let's just go with it and get this game on the road. Okay, we got cows up there. and bananas down here. So the starting spot just got quite a bit better already. So I'm not as bummed about that. It's going to be Thaba Wasiu. So that is going to be our capital. And right away, I always start with a worker. I am going to basically focus on getting this plains cow up and going as soon as I can. That's a really good starting resource. So first thing I am going to research is going to be agriculture to get going towards that. And I'm going to move this guy over to this tribal village as soon as I can. And we got pigs down here. We got sea amber over here. Pigs are food resource, and sea amber is a luxury resource. And anyone that is familiar with the mod will notice that I have changed the terrain back to the default terrain. I remember, it's been a long time since I did that, but I remember having a tough time distinguishing between what grassland and plains looked like when I had the Realism Invictus terrain up there, so that is why it looks like this. Alright, got a freshwater lake here, that's good for irrigation. We've got salt, that's another health resource, that's good. Alright, villagers gave us gold, 60 gold. You can get upwards, I think, to 300 gold from some of these tribal villages, so that 60 gold's on the very low side, so not the greatest tribal village I've ever seen, but you know, gold is always nice. At least the villages are hostile. Okay, we are on a very skinny piece of land here. It looks like this is the coast. This could become an issue in the future where everyone will want to go through my lands to try to attack each other. With my traits, by the way, they're both high or give bonuses to diplomatic relations, so I am going to probably be quite diplomatic this playthrough. Everyone should think I'm pretty cool with a +3 bonus to diplomatic relations. Alright, so we discovered agriculture. I'm just going to move straight to animal husbandry, so we have that going once our worker is up and going. I'm just going to explore a lot of jungle here, which is not the best. Horses are pretty nice. And a bear. Brown bears are +50% against melee units. I do have the jungle as a defense, so this could be bad though if I lose my first unit right away. Alright, he survived, thank God. Let's get him healed up. Not much to do while he's healing. Got a boar up here. I am wondering, we could be just on our own continent here, in a rather small continent, because this looks like it's all going to be coast down here. There doesn't seem to be a lot up here, so there's good and bad with that. The good, obviously, is that you don't have any other civilizations that are going to be threatening you, but the bad is you're kind of limited on your options for getting resources to build cities around, and it's always nice having someone to try to conquer if they are available, but we'll see. Alright, yeah, so down to the south here, looks like nothing but ocean. Yeah, this is looking like coastline. Hopefully this little landmass juts off. If we had like our own little peninsula down here and there's a greater continent. That would be nice to have like a choke point. Alright, we got storyteller, or storytelling, and I think that's one of the technologies that's not in the base game, and there is a unique building that everyone gets called the Storyteller Circle, which just kind of gives you an early science boost. So next I am going to get into tool making, because I will need to build some units, and you get kind of a grace period. I think it's about 30 turns before anyone can attack you. So, and the barbarian animals can't come within your cultural borders, so that's why I'm not building any units right now. But if you get into the game and you have a low amount of military strength, you will get attacked. The AI civs see that, and they will bring an army, they will attack you, and they will conquer you, most likely. So you gotta really be on top of your army pretty quick after the very early game. I did get the worker built, and we're building a cattle trick on these cows. That will be a nice boon. Where are we? Okay, yeah. On the spices, good enough right now, but we will want to get it to the cows as soon as this cattle trick is built, which will be in 6 turns. Alright, tool making.
Nowhere do you find him without tools.
Can't use any of that stuff. Scouts are the first recon units. They are quite weak, but they're good against barbarian animals, and they can move a lot faster than this warrior that's just plodding around at 1 movement per turn. And since I haven't seen another Civ come talk to us, I do have a bad feeling we are on the... Oh, it does open up a little bit. Okay. Here comes a cheetah. We are on a forested hill, so we should do just fine against this cheetah. And he will level up. So, here's where I might not be good at the game. I just almost always do these combat promotions, just the stars. They give just a base 10% strength to your troop, and it's useful in every situation, so I do not really stray from that very often. Even with defensive units, I don't do like the city garrison promotion. I usually do the combat promotions. Okay, we have a boar over here. They have plus 75 force strength and 100% against melee units, so that would be bad news for our guy. Okay, and a Bengal tiger will be attacking us soon. This is a good sign that the continent does open up yet, so hopefully we are not alone on this continent. Alright, the worker has done the cows. Now, can't do anything with woodworking yet. Could build a farm somewhere. The bananas give us 4 food just as a default. I'm going to move them here. Just for now, I will build a farm on this floodplain. Production's going to be an issue. We only have 3 hills, and they're all grassland hills. That could change when we get metalworking. We could get a source of copper near us, which would be great. But so far, our capital will not be a production powerhouse. Okay. I'm going to move him to this hill to recuperate. And yeah, so far the land around us, there's nothing too exciting about it. All this jungle over here really sucks, especially in the early game. Jungle gives you a lot of unhealthiness, so you get a lot of epidemics and or what is it? It's not unhealthiness. It is. I can't remember what that's called. Basically, this symbol here is like the chance for an epidemic, and when you build near jungles or swamps, that chance gets really higher, and then you'll have epidemics, which means you lose population. It can be annoying. Okay, we got woodworking. We'll be able to build militia now. And pretty early on, I am going to start rushing a bit towards bronze working. Or no, it's actually going to be weaponsmithing. So early game in the ancient area, you really want these skirmishers to help you fend off against barbarians and other civs that may be attacking you. So I'm going to go early metalworking now. I will probably pivot to stone cutting and road building after that, so that okay, the game has like resized weirdly there. Wonder if I can fix that. I'll deal with that after I'm done recording. Alright. I lost my train of thought of what I was talking about. Okay, here we go. Tawadros of the Amhara. He is militaristic, an administrator, and anti-clerical, and you can see he's already +3 towards us, and he is happy with us. Just meeting us for the first time, that's due to our traits, and there shall be peace in our time, and may the peace last 1,000 years. Them being happy with you is kind of a it's not something you can really take any comfort in. If you have a much weaker military than them, they will they will attack you, so don't get too excited that they're happy with us. Alright, he's gonna go down there. I'm going to, so it looks like he's coming from the north. I have only gotten that one tribal village, and I need to hopefully beat him to any others. I'm assuming he's gotten any north of us. So I'm also going to go to the south and try to beat him to any tribal villages down this way. And it looks like he's already past us. Okay, we got the storyteller circle. Let's get a militia going. Probably a couple militia. Alright. Still no
all that glitters
great resources. Alright, we got early metalworking. Hopefully there is a source of copper near us, but we shall see. Okay, there is one down here, so pretty clearly our second city is probably going to be this spot here. That'll give us the copper, the pigs, and the amber. We'll have the freshwater, we'll have the freshwater lake here. Wonder if I'll do it here to get the extra hill. Would I rather have the amber or the extra hill? Probably the amber, so we'll use the copper there as our production mechanism. And yeah, I mean, our starting spot I'm not in love with, but it could be worse. At least we're not down like near one of the poles and just have nothing but tundra and ice. And these floodplains are always nice if you want to do like a cottage industry, which I'll probably end up having to have quite a few cottages to really get our economy going. But just kind of special resources, there's not a lot to write home about. It is good that we do have this early copper. I could even start rushing towards, bronze working and weaponsmithing, and try to gank the Amharics early to give me kind of the whole continent to myself.
Are not copper or steel tools, but the gentle touches of air and water, working at their leisure
Another
with a
militia.
liberal allowance of time.
We'll have him defend the city. I got the farm there. Not a lot for this guy to do right now, though. Sure, I'm actually gonna try a cattle trek there. If I could get another cow, that'd be great. Maybe there's a tribal village over in this little corner here. Alright, largest civilizations, we're at 5th, so right in the meaty part of the curve. It's early enough in the game that is kind of meaningless. Once this gets up to level 3, I will... Something weird's happened. All of my settings I've changed. Usually it tells you how many turns until this grows and how many turns until this is built. And everything feels closer than it normally is. So between games I am going to be messing with these settings to get them back to what I prefer. I had to actually get into some of the files to change things. Like when you first get Civ4, so however many years ago it was, it has you put in your like email address or something, and that also comes up as your default leader name. And my email address is basically my full name spelled out. So doing these Let's Plays, I didn't want to have my real name just sitting out there, even though most likely no one's ever going to watch this, and there's no harm that could have came from it. But I had to get into the actual, let's see, what are those file types called? Oh, I can't remember. But anyways, it was like a document, and go and delete that out and save it and put in muted goat, because that's going to be the channel name. And apparently doing that has changed some of the other settings in some way, so I gotta figure all that out. Alright, I'm gonna go road building. After road building, I think I am gonna go straight for the bronze working. Oh, okay. Otto von Bismarck of Germany. What is he? Okay. Well, it's not telling me. Oh, industrious, politician, and a schemer. Okay, so he's gonna have good production, politicians, same as mine, so he's gonna have good relations with a lot of people. And schemer, I can't remember exactly what that does. So this continent has at least 2 other civs, so it is going to be decent size. It's just going to be, looks like a skinny continent. And it looks like I'm going to be SOL on getting any other tribal villages, and that is not ideal. You like to get at least 2 if you can, 2 or 3. Sometimes you can get free technologies, which is extremely nice in the early game, but that is not going to be meant to be for this playthrough. Okay, our capital has gotten up to population 3, and we're about to build our second spearman, so I am going to, or militia, not spearman, so I'm going to build a settler now. And it said 22 turns. Is there anything I could do to speed that up? Nope. Okay, now 21. 1 turns. Huh. You know, I'm going to lean fully into this cattle trick. I am going to work it, and even though the settler is going to take a turn longer and I'm giving up this commerce here, if it eventually does pop a cow, it will be worth it 100%. Or cattle, not a cow. I'm going to have him fortify for now. Let's have you road building in 2 turns. Alright, well, I'm going to waste 2 turns with the settler, and then start building roads down to our second city. Limestone. Alright, so this continent must be quite big, because I'm surprised I haven't seen borders for either of the other 2 civilizations. I am going to build my second city down here, but then I am going to immediately focus on expanding northward. This spot's pretty great right there. Cow, spice, horse, and amber.
A well-beaten path does not always make the right road.
What do I need to do to get bronze working? Pottery, then bronze working. Yeah, so I can't even see the exit. Like this thing is way too big. I hit escape. Okay, I can do that. But why are we all zoomed in like this? Alright, now you can start building roads. Okay, here's the German borders there, so it looks like they're going to be the closest civ to us, which puts a target on their back. I am going to rush to weaponsmithing, and with that copper resource I have, means I can get pretty early axemen, which means, and axemen are extremely powerful in the early game at attacking cities, so that's going to be the plan. And since there's no civilizations from barbarians, I think the plan is just going to be attack and raze their cities to the ground and just eliminate them as a civilization pretty early on, which leaves or gives takes away a lot of pressure to expand quickly. And yeah, we'll see. That's my early plan right now. We'll see if we actually follow through with that. Yeah, I normally have like a clock with time there. Okay, they'll have copper near them too. Okay, this boar actually might kill my warrior here, which would stink. Oh, you've done well. Yeah, let's promote you. Again, heal up. Looks like we're getting to the northern section of the continent here. You can tell by tundra. There's bronze working. We are going to go to autocracy here. We're in tribal union right now, and there's really nothing good about it. Plus 25 maintenance from distance to palace and number of cities, and you get an angry in all cities. This takes away the distance maintenance cost and reduces maintenance cost from numbers of cities. You still get the 1 angry in all cities, but you get happiness from walls and barracks, so autocracy is just clearly better. Alright, weaponsmithing. The settler's getting pretty close. Move one of the militia down here. Actually going to get the worker moving down that way too, so we can get right on the copper right away. Alright, first thing is probably going to be... Oh. Yeah, I'm going to do the Akanda barracks, basically. Start building a road. Let's build our second city here. Masaru, or Masaru. Let's see. I'm not a history buff by any means, but when it comes to like African history, I am quite ignorant, so I am sure I'm going to be butchering a ton of the names of my civilization's cities. Alright, first thing I'm going to have them do is Storyteller Circle. It gives you +2 to science and also starts giving you culture, so I'm going to do that to get our cultural borders popped eventually. Okay, so the continent kind of opens up here to the west too. Wonder if that's where the Amharics will be. Doesn't look like it right now. Oh, there's prime timber. It would be nice if we had some prime timber near us. That is not the case. So, just prime timber. If you have that resource, you can build carpenters in your cities, which gives you a 10% production boost, which is very nice, but that is not something that's going to be available to us for a while, it looks like. This is a good example of how I'm not a good player. I should have built the mine first before the road. I meant to do so after I built the city and then forgot all about it. You know, I could get a lot better like that, but then the game starts feeling more like work than fun to me. So that's not why I do that. So I apologize if that's how you like to play and you find it frustrating that I'm not doing that, but
Without a sign,
I
a sword
mostly
the brave
just
man
play
follows,
for
and
fun.
asks no
Alright,
one
weaponsmithing.
for his country's cause.
You gotta build this bronzesmith to give you access to bronze, and then you can build axemen, and we don't require bronze, but we can start building skirmishers too. Skirmishers are an excellent early unit that really help for barbarians that wander on your lands, and they do so constantly. Alright, I'm going to go fishing here, and then probably shipbuilding, I think, is the next, to get trade along the coast, which will allow these two cities to connect, which will give my capital access to the copper so it can build a bronzesmith. Yeah, looks like we're going to hopefully have some luck on taking out Berlin quite early. Let's see. Largest civilizations again, still in the meaty part of the curve at number 5. The Germans are a little bit higher. currently, I have a feeling the Germans are going to be quite dead. Probably not in this episode, but maybe in episode 2. Or it'll completely fail, and I will be screwed. We'll see. Let's take out this guy if we can. Go. Alright. So now we have access to copper. The city has 2 really great early tiles. The pigs and the copper will make this a very good ancient era city, and that will it also they're just great tiles in any era that'll carry forward. So it's a good second city. While we're waiting for access to copper in the capital, we will build a skirmisher to help protect us from any barbarians, because as you saw, I attacked that barbarian warrior there. Barbarian animals will no longer be spawning, and now it'll be actual troops, and they can wander onto your lands and cause problems.
Begin to weave, and God will give you the thread.
Oh, it's not shipbuilding, it's sailing I need to connect these cities quickly. Alright, he built a storyteller circle. I'm gonna have him, or I keep saying he, the city. I'll have him work on getting a Conda as well. We need to find where the Axomites are. This continent's actually quite big. I was very wrong in my early assessment of it. It's snaky. We do have our own peninsula down here, which is great. Alright, skirmisher. One more turn until sailing, so if I can remember, I will do 1 turn of something and then switch to a bronzesmith. Let's send this guy here. He'll watch out for any barbarians coming.
You can't direct the wind, but you can adjust your sails.
And do architecture so I can build cottages. Okay. Right, build this bronzesmith. With this warrior, basically I want him to find the Axomites and then try to get them back home if I can. It'd be nice if my borders popped again and this German got stuck over here to fog bust against any potential barbarians. Barbarians can only spawn in areas that aren't currently visible to any civilizations. Alright. We've gone about 45 minutes, so let's push it to an hour. The Axomite's got to be over here somewhere. We'll try to do hour-long episodes in this Let's Play. I don't know how often I'll be uploading. Oh, yeah, I can see their border here, so it looks like we've found them.
Architecture has recorded the great ideas of the human race.
Hopefully I
Not
can
only every
upload
religious symbol, but every
pretty
human
frequently.
thought has its page in that vast book.
Alright, so we got the pigs there. Do another road, connect these the traditional way. Alright, they're sitting over here in the corner. Looks like they've already got 2 cities at least. Discovered archery. Now let's see. Probably writing. We're going to be very military focused here in the beginning, but if all goes to plan, I mean, gosh, I could maybe take out both these civilizations really early on and then just have this whole continent to myself, which would be in a lot of ways it'd be like game over for all the other civs, but we'll see. It could also just, you know, have some really bad rolls, and then I've spent a lot of time and resources on units that are now all dead and put me at a big disadvantage. But you can see here, I have this 1.2 and 1.7, if you're not familiar with this mod, is your relative strength compared to the other civs, and this is military strength, so I have a 1.2, which means 120% strength compared to the Axumites, and compared to the Germans, that's like 170% strength. So if these ever get below 1, or even at 1, for any civ, even if they're happy with you, you have to watch out. They're probably going to attack you. And part of having politician as one of mine is I get bonuses to my espionage, so I get little bonuses to be able to see what the others are doing. And you can see here the Axumites are researching monotheism, which means if they are the first who get that, they will found Judaism. So I will have access to a religion, although Judaism wouldn't be great for my civ specifically right now because it takes away any health benefits from clams and pigs, which are 2 of my early resources. Alright, traditional custom. Let's see if I want to do this. Right now we're in Rule of Fear. She gives us plus 10 military unit production and takes away 25% of war weariness. Traditional custom gives new units get 1 experience point, which is good, and also plus 1 health. And hold on 1 second. So that was my wife. Yeah, so I think I am going to stick with Rule of Fear just for the 10% military unit production. Alright, what do I want now? Alphabet allows us to build libraries, so I'm going to go with that. I'm actually going to chop this forest for this. I need to build roads up to the cattle here in order to get access to that resource, and I'll eventually build a farm over those spices right now. Can't do anything with the spices until you get calendar, and it's going to be a minute until I'm there. Okay. They built their Akanda. They build an Axeman. Alright. This warrior has done all the exploring I needed him to do, so I'm going to get him home. Should have realized that. it's building another skirmisher, but I actually wanted our capital to build an axeman. Axeman. Primitive scouts from the barbarians. Yep, coming to attack. Should win this. Should. There we go. Took a minute. Heal up. Zoroastrianism has been founded in a distant land. 3 turns until the Axumites probably found Judaism. They want to sign open borders. I'm actually going to say no right now. If I didn't have access to this... Oh, I don't know if they got that or not. Open borders allows technology transfer. There's no technology trading in this mod, at least that option has been... Okay, so they did get monotheism, or Judaism. So, if you have open borders, it allows technology transfer, which right now I don't want them getting any access to my technologies, because I don't want them to be able to match my military technologies right now. I've gone full military on this. It's basically a military rush, so we're going to see if this works out. If I fail, then I'll probably try to sign open borders, but they're all going to hate me if I fail, because that means I've declared war on them.
Words have the power to both destroy.
Alright, Confederation.
When words are both
Confederation is what I will switch to if our plan works and we take out these 2 civs early on. But right now I need autocracy, because I don't want a minus 25 military unit production. This guy's getting closer to home. Most advanced. Yeah, I'm 4th right now. There's another Axeman. They're going to need a defensive unit in the stack, so I'm going to go Spearman. And the Axemen, I'm giving them City Raider, which gives them plus 20% city attack. So you can see they're strength 5 and already have 45% city attack, which is just so powerful this early in the game. Okay. I think I'm going to go 4 Axemen. Four Axemen and a Spearman. Should be enough to cause some trouble for these other civs. We'll see. I am quite nervous it's going to just fall on its face, but
the idea of God.
You know, there is some hope that it'll work. Get a road there, then it'll come back and irrigate. Our plan to get a cow, or an extra cattle resource, has not worked yet, but we gotta, it's like a long-term investment there. all the religions are getting founded. Okay. I don't know what to build. Let's do just a weaver's shop. That'll give us +1 gold. Alright, the spearmen. That. Just the regular combat. Now, earlier when I was saying I give everyone combat promotions, that is, the one exception is kind of the axemen, man-at-arms in the medieval area, and grenadiers and gunpowder and all that stuff. Any of the city attack specific units, I always give them the city raider promotions. They're very specialized units. Alright. Here's our raiding party. Send them all the way up. "19 turns. Have this warrior just kind of check out the rest of the immediate area. Oh. Britannic Empire. They are probably on a different continent. So I am going to do open borders. They are also ahead of us currently. So that means we can probably benefit. Oh yeah, they have a ship here. That means we can probably benefit from the technology transfer from them, and it doesn't really bother me that they would have any access to bronze working or weapon trading from technology transfer from me. So that is okay with me. Another thing about this mod is you get penalties for researching civilizations, or excuse me, researching technologies in eras ahead of you. So you can see here 50% more expensive to like research horseback riding, because it is considered a classical era technology instead of ancient era. So I'm going to stick with ancient era stuff. And here, sculpture is a perfect example of open borders. I get 40% reduction in cost to research sculpture because the British have already researched it. So I'm going to take advantage of that discount. Sculpture is on sale. I'm going to get my... I had a skirmisher. Oh yeah, here he is. And have him get over here and take care of this barbarian warrior that is up to no good. Germans want to do open borders. I'm not going to do that with them. Get back here and build a farm. I'm actually just going to send this warrior back here. He's got Combat 2 promotion. Right now I'm broke, so I can't upgrade him, but I will once we start taking over cities. Alright, 100% chance of victory for this skirmisher. Easy victory. And that's why you build skirmishers early on. Okay. Do a library there. War parties making their way up. But anyways, we're right at an hour, so I'm going to stop the recording here, and we will try to take out the Germans in the next episode and thanks for anyone who's watching. I hope you keep watching, and yeah, we will see you next time. Thank you.